Do you have to hire an attorney for your green card case? Let's talk about it. Hi guys, my name is Ksenia. I make videos for people who are going through the family immigration process. I'm not an attorney. My videos are based on public information, my own experience, and the experience of my subscribers. And the purpose of my channel is to give you guys the confidence to go through this process completely on your own. USCIS has designed its process in such a way that allows applicants to apply for a green card or any other immigration benefit without having to hire an attorney. But your decision in hiring an attorney for your green card case may depend on a number of factors, which we will discuss in the first half of this video. And in the second half of this video, I'm also going to talk about some things that attorneys can and cannot do for your case. But before we move forward into this video, I kindly ask you that you subscribe to my channel, that you like this video if you haven't already, and also comment below if you decided to hire an attorney for your case or if you decided to do it on your own and why. The first thing you need to consider when deciding to hire an attorney for a case is, do you have a general understanding of the basic steps of the entire green card process? It is not unusual for applicants to be overwhelmed and completely confused about the general steps of the process. But luckily, there are a lot of resources online that can help you gain a basic understanding of the steps. For example, do you understand the general list of forms that is required for your case? Do you know if you are eligible for adjustment of status, or will you be doing consular process? Do you know at which point you will need to submit which forms and evidences? Do you have an idea of how all of these applications are submitted? Most straightforward family-based cases follow a fairly simple process. And if you're wondering what the green card application process for family-based cases is like, I will link one of my videos below. So even after watching that video, reading the form instructions, reading the online resources, you are still confused about the process, maybe then it would be a good idea to at least schedule a short consultation with a lawyer who can explain the general steps to you. Having a basic understanding of the green card application steps and the process after you apply will help you determine if you are eligible to apply in the first place, which actually leads me to my second point. And that is, ask yourself, am I even eligible to apply for a green card? Analyze your own case and figure out if your case fits in these general steps that we talked about in our first point. There are times where applicants will need to submit additional forms. There are times where applicants do not fall into the appropriate category in order to be eligible for a green card. Maybe you are not the kind of relative that is eligible to apply for a green card right away. Maybe you require additional forms like waivers of ineligibility. If you feel like your case does not necessarily match the standard steps of the process, perhaps you should consult with somebody who can explain them to you in better detail. Which actually leads me to my third point. Are there any complexities in your case that could raise red flags for USCIS? So maybe you have prior visa applications or immigration history that may have complicated your case. Or maybe there are things about your past that could appear a little bit fishy or suspicious to USCIS. Because you need to remember that immigration officials are taught to treat every case as if it is a fraudulent case. And I'm not necessarily saying that it is entirely your fault of having this complex history, but like I mentioned just a second ago, in the eyes of immigration, every case is a fraudulent case. So you need to really be careful before you even submit any kind of applications, and perhaps it is a good idea to consult with a professional. Let's talk about point number 4. Are you ready to spend a significant amount of time reading the instructions, filling and refilling the forms multiple times, correcting errors, collecting evidence? Reading the form instructions is not an easy task. A lot of those instructions require you to have a highly developed level of English proficiency. If you are the kind of applicant who really struggles with understanding that kind of language, it may be a good idea to talk to a professional or hire somebody who can prepare the case for you. I do quite often encounter situations where applicants do not read the form instructions at all, which is one of the biggest mistakes that you could make in your case, because the form instructions, although complex, can be quite helpful. It is a rather overwhelming process, and it can take you a few weeks, if not a few months, to prepare everything before your case is ready for submission. So if you are the kind of person who is fairly busy with your life, or you generally just don't want to bother with doing this process by yourself and you have the money to spare, then of course you can hire either a law firm to do these applications for you, or you can hire other form preparation services. And finally, the thing that a lot of applicants consider when hiring an attorney is obviously the financial reasons. If you are tight on your budget, you may choose to do the case by yourself. The whole process is not cheap by itself. Even the applications themselves are fairly expensive, but I do want you to be very careful in considering all the prior points that we talked about in this video. Perhaps there are complications in your case where you should have legal representation. And of course, it is not cheap to hire an attorney for your case, but a lot of attorneys do offer payment plans. There are agencies that are available that do offer pro bono work. I will link a few resources in the description box of this video where you can find help for free. And now let's talk about some things that lawyers can and cannot do for your case. Attorneys cannot make you eligible for a green card if you were not eligible in the first place. So for instance, if you had prior cases that were denied and the Department of State stated a specific reason for your denial, and maybe the reason for that denial is not something that you can actually fix, hiring an attorney is not going to magically make you eligible, because attorneys cannot suddenly change immigration laws. Attorneys cannot speed up your immigration case. Hiring an attorney does not mean that your immigration case will go faster than those of the people who did it themselves. It also applies to different consulates overseas. Just because you hire an attorney doesn't mean that you will get your interview faster. Every case is different, and two different cases submitted on the same day who look very similar can have drastically different processing times. Most of the cases these days do take longer than expected, but there are some outliers that are faster than others. Attorneys can and do make mistakes. Just because you hire an attorney for your case does not mean that your case will be completely squeaky clean without any errors. You would be surprised to find out how many applicants hired an attorney for their case just to find out that their applications were being rejected due to errors committed by the law firm that they hired. It often does happen because the attorney that you hire may not be necessarily the person that actually prepares your case. Majority of cases, attorneys are not actually the ones looking at the forms and reading the form instructions. A lot of times, attorneys will dedicate your case preparation to their paralegals or people that work in their law firm. And finally, hiring an attorney doesn't mean that they will send out your paperwork as soon as it's ready. So a lot of it depends on how quickly you are able to provide them with the information that they're asking of you. But in a lot of cases, your case just may not be a priority for them. There may be other cases that they need to take care of first, such as immigration court, deportation-related cases, or cases where they have to represent their clients at interviews and travel for their clients. Some attorneys sit on cases for a few weeks or even months, and you may not hear from them for a while. If you would like to take control of your own case, then maybe you should consider doing it on your own, but then again, consider all the risks of doing it yourself that we talked about in this video. But I want to hear from you guys. I want to know if you hired an attorney for your case or if you decided to do it on your own. I want to know what was the reason behind you hiring an attorney, and I also want to hear the reasons behind why you decided to do it yourself. And I totally forgot to do the outro for this case, so if you found this video useful, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and I hope to see you guys in my next videos. Bye!